Morning and welcome back to Morning at NTV. My name is Idris Matusegawa and we're in that segment called the Kickstarter for your day, and discussing this Friday is a panel that is quite interesting. We've never had such a big panel on this show, and I'm excited to introduce Andrew Kagwa, journalist, entertainment journalist. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Kenneth Mugabe, artist, soul musician. You're welcome, sir. And Bushington, producer, entrepreneur, promoter. Titles
multi-purpose. Morning, Idris.
So I'll start with you, Bushington. We've been discussing something before we went on air about concerts. The economy has reopened. Artists have been hungry to get back into it. Are there concerts that we should be waiting for right now?
Yeah, I think people are already advertising.
The
Valentine Day is one of those days that before the lockdown was a really concert day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of gigs for that date. I've seen even dates before Valentine. I think I've seen a fly of Ruga and Azawi somewhere. I think it's on the 12th or the 10th. But I think also they're aiming for that Valentine, day. So yeah, people have already started, but I don't see it really too vibrant. I've seen teaser flyers from different theme concerts that we knew. I've seen Nyege Nyege throw out a teaser. I've seen Roast and Rhyme. I've seen Blankets and Wines. They all don't mention dates, but they're like, get ready, we are coming back. I've seen one from Galaxy. So there's those teas. I've seen a launch. Palace, I think, has already announced a date. I think also Comedian has also announced that he may do a concert. So people are already throwing teasers, and it's the early bird.
When you mentioned Nyege Nyege, someone here chuckled. Andrew, why did you chuckle at Nyege Nyege?
Nyege Nyege is a vibe. My very first time at Nyege Nyege was 2015, before very many people knew about Nyege Nyege and everything. But Nyege Nyege is definitely coming back in the first week of September.
Well.
That's supposed to happen.
Yeah. And it was a big miss. It was a big miss. It's one of those events that people really missed in the lockdown.
So would you say, Andrew, that people are excited? Are they going to flock these concerts, you think?
Okay, at the moment, you see, like he said, that people are throwing teasers, but they're not mentioning dates. Okay, I can be so sure about Nyege Nyege because it's September. That's after a very long time after we've reopened. But many of the people right now are not very sure of how people might react to a concert. Much as people are very open to going for a show that has collective artists like Roast and Rhyme, very many people are still afraid of organizing their own concerts because you do not know the mindset of the people. You do not know
if they will turn up or not.
Yeah, if they will turn up or not. Because for a collectible concert like Roast and Rhyme and everything, like the loss is not on you. If they don't turn up, you still got paid.
You move on.
Yeah, you kind of move on. So they are not afraid of those. But when it comes to individual concerts, they are still afraid. And you cannot blame them. People have been home for 2 years.
I'll ask the musician himself, Mr. Kenneth Mugabe. It's been a while. You haven't been performing. How are you excited about getting back on stage and performing for your fans? And do you think they are going to flock these concerts to come? And probably, have you gotten any booking yet?
That's the question.
Well, no bookings yet, but inquiries.
Okay.
And it's the time where you're like, oh, I'm charging obesity. You're like, you're Ugandan, you're in it, you're with the people.
You understand the situation,
but then there's a sudden voice in your mind is telling you, don't give out yourself so much. Don't do this, don't be this. And this time, be understanding. So it's the business side of it. But the art side wants to give out. The business side is like, hold a bit. But I'm excited that we are out. I'm excited that I also want to do a concert this year. I want to. you hint against
Yeah.
But
So it's a teaser.
Like,
Coming soon.
I've just dropped an album, so
Kenneth Mugabe in concert. It's been announced right here. So Kenneth, yes, you still explain to us. So many people might be concerned about the Omicron variant. There are so many SOPs to follow. Are you scared about that? For the lack of a better word, are you conscious of, should I do a concert? Will people turn up? Am I going to be, you know?
of course you have to be cautious.
Yeah.
We like all the businesses. What we have in common is people.
Yeah.
So you have to take care of the people because those are the people that give us the money. We give them and then we receive back.
Yeah.
So cautious, yes. Do I fear? No, because we have companies that can, put up good shows, and follow the SOPs, and I think we can do it. We can do it. And besides, Uganda, we toward to following SOPs, doing toward following what Museveni is saying, like the president is saying, and I think it's the reason why after the not tutor. You get, otherwise, find what the lockdown.
Brilliant. I'll come to you, Bushington. As a producer, promoter, how has this whole thing affected you, and what do you hope for now that the economy is opened, concerts are going to be happening again, artists probably are going to come to you to produce new music? What are you looking out for?
It has, as a not even as a promoter, it has affected us really, really badly.
Yeah.
Like on a general level, like really badly, And I'll credit all these artists who have survived this period. Trust me, artists live a very expensive life, and it's required of them.
Yeah.
Two, they also have this is a sector that is undermined, So people don't even think that we take care of people. We have people we employ. Kenneth has a manager. He has a gear person. He has an engineer. He has backup artists. He has all these people, and it's a pyramid down the line, And when he does a concert or a gig, he's paying. $1 million, he's expensive. Just one guy is on stage. But after that, to Simba line it will go to jail.
Sasuli.
So
just kaiba kamukoka.
So it has really affected us. Two, also, as we content creators, this is money. Things are expensive. You invest money to create content. So artists are not going to spend money they are not getting. You get. So they won't come to me if I'm charging 1 million per song and still pay that 1 million. That's what he's telling you, that people are calling him. But he's also scared. When we went before lockdown, maybe he was at a certain fee. Now he's like, I know what is happening.
How do I judge this?
People have not really kicked in. I even posted on Monday. I stay in Munyonyo. I stay in Buziga, but I hang in Munyonyo. So I drove around Munyonyo, Buziga up to Kabalagala, and the shops and everything was closed by 10.
Wow.
And there was no roadblocks.
Amazing.
And I was like, really, people haven't really even got into that. We are open. You get.
Yeah.
So, and you look at the people who really come to the events. Who are the people who pay? The people who pay are the people who have not been working. The Chukubo people, those down people. Those are the people who really come for concerts. You get, especially the concerts that we as musicians create, leave alone the corporate created concerts. You get. So the lower class, the Muntu are the vibrant people who really come in our personal concerts, like Kenneth Mugabe at Lido Beach.
Yeah.
The real Kenneth fans are those people that who look for Medearero. They save the little money they have and they come and they enjoy. You get. So these are the people who haven't really gotten back into the business. So you don't expect them to really, the guy opened, I think, first week of Jan. Schools open the next day. He
has to pay school
fees. All schools want full payments of school fees.
Yeah.
So people, the landlords, they've been quiet now. They're like, you get. So, and that's them where we've been working. You get. So the costs have been the same, but the income has not been coming in.
Yeah.
So I don't expect us to just kick in like that. You know, it's going to, like Andrew was saying, it's going to take really some time. I still believe even September is too close. You know, we may really stabilize around November.
Oh, wow.
Really, I think we shall stabilize around November. You see, just look at the corporate companies. That really, the private sector is the biggest, you know, investor in our music.
Yes.
They sponsor, they give us gigs through the activations and everything. We don't really get gigs from any other sector. So, but these people have been making money without us performing. You get. So they've also revised their marketing strategy. Like, oh, I've been giving Kenneth 50 million for his concert, but people have not been drinking. But now people have been drinking Coca-Cola. And
Why do I need it?
So why do I need it? Really?
Andrew, and I'll come to you for that. Bushington mentioned something really important, that people might have changed their interests and might have changed their lifestyles. Do you think artists are going to be affected in a way that like the companies he's talking about are going to realize that, hey, I can actually do without this person? Do you think that's happening right now? The thing about people now getting back home by 10, is the nightlife going to be affected by this?
When the lockdown had just started, I remember calling James Biaruhanga. James Biaruhanga used to, I don't know if I should say used to, or he's going to continue organizing, but used to organize blankets and wine.
Had he started farming?
I no, but he was.
Well,
so I asked James, like, how long do you think it's going to take us to get back out there? Like, at that time, we were all thinking we're going to be closed for 8 months. For some reason, we thought we were going to be.
We started with 3.
2 weeks, 14 days.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So he told me we are going to take as much time as we were going to stay in the lockdown. So he was saying if we've been locked down for 8 months, it might take more 8 months for people to come back. Like right now, I don't know if we're going to take 2 years for people to like fully come back. I do not really know, because I found 8 months quite very manageable. Like 2 years, when I think about 2 years.
No, but I think it's this. The music industry is not any different. We are affected by the general economy. So if the economy is going up, I think we shall also go up. If it goes down with us.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So at the moment, I believe we are not even just going to be affected. We are already affected at the moment, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and if it's not there, we're going to carry a torch.
Mwami Kenneth Mugabi.
Seruganda.
Bushington said something that caught my attention. He said the artists and the music industry is undermined. Do you feel undermined?
You know, most of the times I swipe on Twitter and they're like, Kenneth Mugabe, they're underrated. Kenneth Mugabe, underrated. This guy's so underrated. This guy's so underrated. And I'm like, what are you rating? Like, what measures are you using to
rate me?
Yes. So I removed myself from that box.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what are you as a person? I consider myself a servant. You get? I serve people because the route I chose to take, I knew it was going to be long, but I knew Kagwa was one of the first people who believed in him, actually.
Yeah. No, I wrote his first story.
Oh.
You get? So they're always
Actually, I saw you perform at Akasha before you blew out. You were performing, I think, during Christmas or something.
Oh, Christmas in Kampala.
No.
Yeah.
There was you were doing a performance, like a street performance.
Yeah, it was still
at
Christmas
Akasha
in Kampala.
Ah, okay. I guess, because NTV has done a movie called Christmas in Kampala, so I was confusing that what you're saying.
There's a show that we used to do Christmas in Kampala. Yeah. Towards Christmas there.
Yeah, but please go back to what you're saying.
Post over door.
How you feel underrated, and you decided to put yourself out of this box.
Yes.
Yeah.
So end of the day, it's what you are contributing, what you're adding to the industry.
Yes.
So me, I consider myself as a person who's adding to the industry, not taking away from the industry.
Yeah.
So to add to the industry, you need to enrich them. You need to empower them. You need to to think of better ways to get into their pockets, to get that money. You get. So or bakuza. So you need to grow with them. So personally, as an artist, I consider growing with my audience. That's why when you listen to my work, the first album is different from the second album. You keep growing,
album. Renovating, and bringing something new.
Yes.
And also because your music style is unique from the rest, do you feel a challenge getting through to your audience, or is it a niche thing that you do for particular people and this is my market, I'll stick to that? Are you tempted sometimes to say, maybe kangezeke chidandali wali?
I've actually tried.
Okay.
I've actually tried.
How did that go?
Though, for some reason, the first song, there's a song on YouTube called Nobuka.
Yeah.
It used to be totally different.
Yeah.
But the moment I put on a tube fiddle, it totally changed. Changed. One instrument like this changed everything. I did the same experiment on my second album, Ugandan. Yeah. There's a lot of what one would call chidandali, but of course, I try to put a little bit of soul. Yeah. But when you add an instrument like a ndingi, like a traditionalist, everything changes. So personally, I decided to be one in the Solabanga, you're alone. Yeah. At the moment. Yeah. You're like, let me experiment. Yeah.
You have the monopoly
because the rest are running after something. I don't know what it is. So like, let me experiment around, because we have over 50 tribes. Each tribe has like a culture, more than one kind of music. Yeah. For example, Ghana, Baksimbas, and Gundu, Magonju, and Togoros, but Magonju, we have Mogola, we have lots. Like when you move around, I can experiment. So this is more like the destination Uganda.
Explore Uganda.
Explore Uganda.
Bushington, from what Mwami Kenneth is saying, is it that musicians lack originality? Are we always trying to jump onto what's trending? If Nigerian music is trending at the moment, do we just want to jump onto that? I'm a piano. Do we lack originality as Ugandan artists?
I don't think there is originality in music. I think what you do at that time is the originality. Okay. Because it's what it's got. I see music is art. I even don't see it. I remember sometime in my senior 2, senior 3, we were doing art, fine art. And I was doing art, and this teacher put up the object and stood in the door. So fine art was I think the free subject. You used to converse, move around and stuff. But this guy, he was called Mr. Sir, he was just writing our names. So later on, I discovered this, I think, after the paper. He was marking where we were all seated. Like Bushington is in this corner, this row, because we used to sit in rows. So when we were shading, there's this guy who drew, when he was teaching us how to shade, he was like, shade, you understand where the light is coming from and everything. So this guy didn't even shade anything, and he got to 75. And for us, we were shading because we were excited with all these smart
crayons,
2B, smart 3B pencils and stuff like that. And then we were getting 30. Yeah. So this guy came like, where were you sitting? Like here. So you show me where the light was coming from. So the thing is, we paint what we feel at that moment. At the moment. You get. Yeah. So the inspiration comes from them. And two, there's the business side of it. You get. If I give you examples of Wizkid, the sound that he started with is not the sound he's doing right now. And there's a reason why he's in the international market, because he's doing something that is close to what their ears can relate to. So there's the business side. If I really want to break into the South African market, I need to do something that is close to what they know or what they are doing. You get. And if people are really paying me for my piano, why shouldn't I do it anyway? You get. And if I can really do it so nice, it only gets bad if I try to do it. And like Kenneth is saying, what he was trying to say is like, we can't all be in the same box.
Yeah.
Uganda has, I don't know, 55, 53 tribes.
Yeah.
You get.
About
And these
56.
tribes come with different cultures.
Yes.
Cultures affect our understanding and our characters and the way we do things. So if he goes to studio, because there's the way he came up, like it's going to affect how he understands his art. You get. So that's why you hear people in this man ghetto, they are thought to be ruffians, you know, they are thought to be aggressive, stuff like that, because the ghetto is aggressive. And then, you know, they say people, the artists who come from church, thought
more
to be
melodic.
calm, but sometimes it's different, you get. So the thing is, because we have so many cultures, we can't be in a box. America has how many genres? Like, I don't know, there are like
Several.
20 genres, you get. We only consume what resonates with our society.
Interesting argument, Bushington. I'll come to you, Andrew. As an entertainment journalist who covers all these different concerts, musicians, what they're producing, analyzing it, is there a lack of identity? He says it's about performing what you feel in the moment and putting out what the customer wants. But when you look at countries like Nigeria, they have an identity. South Africa has an identity.
Let me ask you a
Europe,
question.
Russia.
What is Nigeria's identity?
We know the identity, don't you, Andrew?
Okay, one of the first things I think I would say is Uganda is very unfortunate. We are very multi-country when it comes to culture.
Yeah.
The last I had, I think we had about 53 tribes.
56.
56
Yes.
tribes. And you see, actually, when you go to dialects, it becomes even more complex.
Yeah.
And literally, each and every one of these cultures comes with different music, different language, different beliefs, and everything. So, when you look at countries we're trying to compete with, and actually, to add on all that, we don't even have one unifying language. When you look at the countries we're trying to compete with, most of the times, you look at Kenya, you look at Tanzania, like they might not really have something that you could call a sound that's truly Kenyan or something, but they probably have a language. Nigeria somehow forged with Pidgin.
I think it's Pidgin, that's the identity. That's all.
Like literally today, every place you go to in Nigeria, someone understands Pidgin.
Yeah.
It's more of manipulated English, but
Well,
because it's not really like you. Okay, I could say it's unique. Like
we shall take what you say.
Yes, anyway, they have Pidgin, and you see TZ literally has Swahili.
Yeah.
So regardless of what you put on that Swahili, somehow it's easy for people to relate. In Uganda, it's a very, very different case. Like you'll be in the center and you feel like, yeah, people are actually vibing to Luganda. Maybe this is it. And then you go to Karamoja, and yeah, some people will be vibing to it, but there will be that majority that are not vibing to it. And then you do not understand what they are vibing to. But talking about identity, I think every artist at the end of the day has their own identity. And the problem we have in Uganda, why people say our artists usually copy what they see, I think might come down to why someone joined the industry in the first place. Because the music you do becomes your identity and becomes your truth, and people will buy it. Like most of the times we buy people because they are believable.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with movies. Like a South African would do a Western film, and you're thinking like, why is a South African doing a Western film? But the way they do it, that becomes their truth, and at times it's the reason you buy it. Like the authenticity they bring to it, them not trying to be so American when they are doing it, is what makes you buy it. So at the moment we have very many artists that jump onto things and they do not do it well.
And they are not authentic in their performance, their execution, which brings me to Kenneth Mugabe. As an artist, Some people have argued that during the lockdown, people have had time to sit down and listen to music, not jump onto the bandwagon, or probably I'm in the club and it's playing and I'm like excited, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. So people have had time to actually, let me listen to these lyrics. What is he saying? How is the beat done? How is it produced? Do you think it's going to affect the way music is produced, especially in Uganda going forward?
It is already affecting.
Yeah.
Because people, we most of the times we want to please people. We want to please people. But during lockdown, I happened to get some feedback from people, and some of them are like, "What have I been listening to over there? But you're in Uganda, dude. Like,
I've been around.
Really? But you're in Uganda, I'm like, really? Are you
The undiscovered gem.
So, oh, this time you have this much music. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So the lockdown, it was a blessing in this case for some of us. For some of us. Why? Because we prayed for at least people, let people listen. We didn't think it would bring corona.
Yeah.
So people got time. Those who really want to listen, they got time. They sat down. They had nothing to do. Played the music over and over again. And that's when I actually saw my numbers really rise during lockdown.
Yeah.
So it's sometime we saw new artists come up, the likes of Ano, Mudra, Zex.
More like vocalists.
Yes, like more like vocalists, and kind of like laid back soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, welcome, Mujie. And this is by the way, because the same time is when I'm like, why don't these gig guys where I was, because I used to be, I consider myself a gig man. Why don't these guys come to the mainstream? Why don't they come? Because you feel like
isolated.
you cannot.
No, you see the platform is there.
Yes, you see the platform is there. People actually welcome you, and your friends are like, "You're to get in there," but they're like,
The likes of Janzibar, Kwela, etc.
Well, yeah, but there are those solo.
There are quite very many.
Yeah, that's why I said etc.
Many, and they are capable. They can play,
Yeah.
they can sing, they can perform. But I don't, for some reason, I don't know. It's the mainstream that the guys fear to join. I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Bush, they were asking you, what's wrong with the mainstream?
I'll say this. I'll first like to add on what he's saying. Music is channeled in initially it was three channels. Well, we had the mainstream, which is TV, radio, broadcast. Then there was the digital, which was YouTube and streaming services. And then we had, the street hype, where we had the local vendoring, distribution and stuff like that. And now there's a fourth channel, which is social media. You get. When we went to lockdown, the other channels were locked, which is the streets. And the streets in Uganda were the biggest commanders of our industry.
They used to run the
consumers.
So you're talking about clubs, you're talking about, taxis, whatever. You get, these people who put speakers outside malls and you just listen to music. Now, mainstream has a way of sieving, because mainstream only, it has a criteria. Every broadcaster has a criteria of broadcast. So you listen to radio stations, KFM, Sanyu, Capital, they all have a certain criteria. And it favors a certain type of people. Before, you could hear Kenneth Mugabe's song on a certain type of radio, and it's okay for that song to play here. So when we went into lockdown, first of all, there was a reduction in content creation.
Yeah.
And two, there was 2 avenues or 3 avenues. It was mostly mainstream, which was broadcast, because we're on the radios listening to what the health officials are saying and stuff, trying to get information how to beat. It was like a war of a sort. And then you had social media, which was only our own now source of entertainment. And then along came I said social media. Then there was the normal YouTube. But Ugandans, we aren't really up to speed with other countries with, you know, digital
and
distribution.
probably because of the internet prices.
Yeah, I don't think it's even internet prices. I don't think it's internet. Because I've seen Nigeria has more expensive internet than Uganda. But it's just our normal mindset. I wish we had time to go into that, but it's just our mindsets. I think discussing with him some time back, and I told him before, when I was coming up in this industry, they used to say, mukola music naye oyisiwa abantu wa wansi. You get, so they meant the people who, you know, the muntu wa wansi, the Masaka people. But then in the lockdown, the Masaka people weren't really streaming the music. And then it's the only avenue where we were making money. You get, so it was just a mindset. But look at the generation now. It was, I think, a generation effect. Yeah. Like, but because I was taking my nephews to school and they all have phones, and like they even call you, Uncle, what time are you?
How old are they?
P5, P4. Oh
wow.
Like, Uncle, are you coming Friday to pick us or something like that? You get. So even my cousins, like, you put there your phone, they check them, and then you get your phone in the evening. They even put homework on emails. It wasn't the case with us. They just phoned me with a charger in high school, and they suspended me.
So there is an evolution happening.
Yeah. So the thing is, that space gave chance to certain genres to rise. You get. There was no performances, because, you know, performances affect music. There are some songs that hit because I went to a gig, Blankets, and I saw so-and-so performed, and the hype was nice. I want to look at that song that Kenneth, you know, he will testify. He will come, and he will know, like, you know, they want to listen to Nach. But before I play Nach, let me play my newest song, and then I play. So because...
Keep them watching.
Yeah, because the hype was high. We go, but and we start, you know, looking for the song. And so some artists are performance-oriented. You know, the likes of Kabako and Gravity. You never see them on radio being played. But when they get on stage, they're better than the ones that we see on TV or radio. So because we are locked to a certain channel of distribution that was broadcast, it happened so that, you know, it gave, you know, radios, they like quality, and, you know, they give a variety. A DJ will listen to a song like, katinze nimo BPM ya 100. I think I don't put that 90. They play certain songs, but they'll play them at 6 when people are leaving or in the morning. So you know that you won't push your music in certain spaces. But then with the mainstream, you know that, you know, in the morning radios play, you know, calm music, or in the night. So
then I can push my music. And I'll come to Andrew on that. What should artists now do in terms of branding and basically promoting themselves? If, for example, I don't have a promoter, I don't have a manager, how can I push myself? He has mentioned something to do with digital, using social media platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Are there other options? Have artists learned from that?
I think this is the camera we use, right?
Yeah. You want to talk to them directly?
I think the very first thing I would say, if you're an artist and you do not have a manager, please wake up. Like, you need to wake up. You cannot do this art thing without a manager. The thing the manager helps you with is they make you realize the business side of the art you're doing. As an artist, you're concerned with creating, you want to execute your work to the best. You
don't want to worry about the business side.
You shouldn't worry about the business side.
Jonathan, do you have
that's why you need a manager.
Yes. Perfect. I saw you smiling.
Like, as an artist, I saw
a slight smile there, and I was like, okay, interesting.
Any serious artist needs a manager. And, okay, we don't want to go into that discussion.
But the key word is any serious.
Sorry, I called you Jonathan. Sorry about that.
But I think it would also, it's something we've seen with Ugandan artists when they lose their management. Of course, someone will tell you, but because we can not go down into the numbers to see if Asigadde Achikubira as they are saying, you might find that yes, we feel like Achikuba, but they are probably spending more, probably they are not taking their time to create.
Stardom sinks like a ship. That's how it is. When you're sinking, you don't know that you're sinking, and then you're going down. It's not like a plane. So once you're up there,
I guess we have a lot of sheep. Kind of. coming back to you, how do you promote yourself?
Well, the good thing is, well, during lockdown, I did most of social media.
Yeah.
But I've realized my presence in the audience, in the audience, does more good than social media.
Yeah.
On social media, I've realized that when I put up a post or poster and I'm performing here,
Yeah.
people come.
Yeah.
But those who come most of the time, they don't comment, they don't like, for some reason. So it made me think otherwise. YouTube, perform, put on social media. Small, like just something small. Do a live, perform. Whenever I do a live, they're like, sing for us, Natch. Sing for us this. I'm like, guys, I just want to talk. No. We don't want you to talk.
Sing for us.
Sing for us. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to be just singing.
Well, if you have just joined us, we are discussing.
I do.
If you have just joined us, we are discussing the music industry. It has been reopened. What are some of the things that we should expect from the artists themselves? And Kenneth has just mentioned that most of his fans ask him to sing, and he will be singing for us here on the show. But coming back to Kenneth, you were still talking about how social media is not doing that much for you. Other artists might come out and say, you know what, I've made a lot of money on social media. Bushington, have artists made money through internet, online?
I think they say better late than never. They woke up when, you know, other people were already in the garden reaping. But like I said, better late than never. They have now. Because I remember when we went to lockdown, they all started learning about distribution and digital sales. Oh, I need to own my YouTube channel. They used to give their YouTube channels, their content to, I know there's these people who used to, who have made money in these artists. Like, I promote for you. How do I promote for you? How do I promote for Kenneth Mugabe's song on my YouTube channel? Yes, if I have the traffic, yes. But the only way I can do that if I tell Kenneth, give me your link and I share it. Yeah. Because then the revenue is going to you. But then if I put it on my link, you get. Okay, it's confidential, but I was doing something with a certain corporate company, and then
we like confidential stories.
I wanted to use stock footage. So we used footage from a YouTube video. Yeah. But the YouTube video was for a certain artist, but then it was on a certain person's channel. So because it was an international gig, we wrote to the YouTube owner. And we were like, oh, can we use this content? And then he gave us a quotation, and we asked, are you owner? Yeah, I'm the owner. And even showed us the agreements he has with the artist. And then we put this stock footage in a jingle, in an advert and everything. And then later on, this artist writes, a big email with big lawyers, you use my content without my consent. Now I'm suing you. And we're like, are you this person? Yes. Are you artist A? Do you have an agreement with this person? He's like, no, but this agreement has your signature. And this is exactly what you signed here, and this you get. So we told him, listen, we paid this person, and it was really a lot of money. It was around 30,000 USD.
Oh, why?
You get. Yeah. So,
Washington.
So this artist is a very big artist. I won't mention, but he's a very big artist in Uganda. So by the time he discovered, the YouTube channel that this person claims to be promoting,
he's actually
selling my content. Later on, after like 2 weeks, I saw this distributor's channel. I'll call him a distributor or whatever. It was down because I think he went preaching the news, and all these artists were like, "Give us our content."
Dear.
Okay. So you see, now it has opened eyes to the artists. Like there is other channels because we don't have the physical distribution of music, like a Siwukira of physical tapes. No one is buying CDs anymore. Yeah. You get, people are streaming music, people are downloading music. So the digital sales are now the new distribution channel. So the artists in the lockdown opened up their eyes. You see now there is a new trend of releasing multiple content through EPs and albums. And you see now even coming back to distribution. I've seen Swangs now going to distribution, Black Market going to distribution. So you see I was some time back. I was talking to some people. I was like, these Kasiukeras, whoever. So they've also not helped. They've not evolved because if all the people who are distributing Sony, whoever, are moving. So you guys, because the physical tapes and everything died out, you should have gone into digital distribution, still invest the same money, and still sell the same content.
Andrew,
Those
some of
ones
these
died
big
with
artists, Andrew, are some of these big artists you think who probably are fading out, whom Bushington called sinking ship, are they stuck in the past, refusing to move into the present?
Ouch, that's big. But just say something about. I actually know about the scenario he was talking about the artists
promoter
and the content,
and the distributor.
But yeah, like the other thing I think artists need to do is want to know to own their IP, their intellectual property. They need to know how to own it, because Uganda has a film on Netflix. The Girl in the Yellow Jumper. And Lukman was very particular when he was trying to get the rights to these songs and everything. And then it turned out one of the persons that sold him a song wasn't actually the owner of the song. Like, these things where a DJ produces a song, like DJ Khalid things, and his voice is not really on. So the person whose voice is on actually signs all the papers. So I saw the paperwork, but then the real artist was like, that's my song, and I wasn't contacted. But anyway, they found ways of talking things out. So I think as an artist, you need to know how to actually own your intellectual property. Besides that, I think when it comes to marketing, artists need to know that there is more to their music than just performing it. Because I know some good number of artists that made some money on Queen of Katwe, just their music being
quite
there.
A few.
Yeah, so I think they should think broadly when it comes to just that one song. But now, what did you ask? I forgot.
Bushington said, we have some ship that are sinking.
Yeah.
And the question was, do we have old artists who have really stuck in the past?
No, I said, because I know they are watching and they'll be like, I said, stardom sinks like a ship.
Yeah.
It doesn't just, when a plane is crashing, it comes like in a second.
Yeah.
But with a ship, you watch Titanic, like even you call your people and you're like, okay, now we are going to drown.
now we are drowning.
Yeah, you get. So that's how stardom sinks. It doesn't just go down like a boom.
Okay, so I've been told we are running out of time, but I want to ask each one of you one question. What has been your very out of ordinary experience at a concert?
At a concert, I think there was a time we were Nyege Nyege. Yes. So Shoma Jose comes and performs. I take pictures of it, but if you ask me right now, I do not remember seeing any of that concert. I think it was the spirit.
Well, okay. Kenneth.
Yes.
What has been your out of this world experience on a concert since they are returning? Is it that extraordinary?
You want the positive or the negative?
Any. Something you remember for the rest of your life.
Well, I like redeeming stories, like fall down then come up, because I've been like fall and then came back. I remember one time after Rated Next, Vision Group was like, hey, come and perform at Mbuti is in Nachivu. They were like, go at this star, but TV. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, but TV. I'm like, I wasn't that convinced.
Yeah.
So Bugembe steps on stage. He leaves this. Remember that the day it was chilly.
Yeah.
It's like traffic wali. So Bugembe steps on stage. After he leaves the stage. They're like, no, the next person is Kenneth Mugabe, and I'm like, these guys, they don't know me. But I step on stage. Before even I open my mouth, they were like, Bayo. I'm like, oh, dear. Like I bowed my head like this and I walked up to home.
Are you serious?
That was the shortest distance I've ever walked.
You walked off stage. Oh,
Like I didn't even open my mouth. But until that day, I was like, I have to go back and the same people. And I gave them the same content. Because I understood that it wasn't the time.
Yeah.
Because even then, I was chasing my music. I was chasing to look like my music.
Yeah.
Because the first time I was writing Next Till, by then I was 20,
Yeah.
I had written Chivunomo already. I wrote Chivunomo when I was 19. And one of the judges who happened to be Moriski was like, how old are you? I'm like, I've just met 20. And you wrote this song? I'm like, yeah, I did. Like, do you realize what you have? And no, I don't. Like he said. Artists, most of the times we don't even know what we have. We don't even know what
You're just being the authentic you.
Yes.
Putting
That's
it
why
out there.
any serious musician
Yeah.
needs to have a manager to make the business sense out of it.
Very true.
Yes.
Bushington, your story. The extra. You must be.
I have 100 stories. But I think
Give us one.
I have the worst. Okay, the worst I would say the worst. I don't know if it's okay to be on TV.
It better be censored.
This is because I take the responsibility. So I remember when I was still managing and producing for Radio and Weasel. I think it was around 2011, 2012 there. So we used to do these regional tours. So we were doing countrywide tours. Some guy paid us for 100 shows. So there's this guy who had fake money, Bichupuri. So he used to move with us everywhere. So, you know, on the gate collections, because we were sharing like a certain percentage. So on the gate collection, he used to take, you know, some money. He used to take but then when he used to count the money, there was 50% real money and 50% Bichupuri. So when I think Lugazi somewhere, and then we discovered that there is a person who comes and brings fake money to the wife. So we were clashing with the promoter, you get. So we got this guy. So he was buying, the tactic he was using, he was buying free tickets for the fans. So he tells you, how much are you paying? You give me the money, I've given you the ticket. So he buys very many tickets and then gives this person. So when we chased this person, that time he had a gang. He had like 10 people who used to enter shows. So we got them, you know, we harassed them, and then we let them go, and it's the worst mistake we made. So I was on stage, I think it was Red Banton performing.
Yeah.
So he was going, the lineup had a lot of artists, Red Banton, Chance, and whoever. So it's a very bad thing. As Red Banton was performing, these guys got a sack of feces. Before you know the stage.
My God. Oh my God.
It's the worst thing that ever happened.
That is indeed very traumatizing. I see Andrew here is out of his body.
You know those be very like those shows in the
But well, if you have just joined us, we are here discussing the music industry. It has reopened. Everyone is looking forward to some performances. And I asked you to go onto my Twitter account, that is Idris Matusegawa, and give me some questions for the Kenneth Mugabi. And as he prepares to perform for us, I'm just going to give him some comments that have been coming through. Someone is saying, Kenneth, I love your music. And Asha is asking, are you married? Are you?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, perfect.
They never
They are never married.
That is saying, great art he has there, keep it up. How much do you charge to sing on functions? Someone I think has a wedding. Probably they will contact you. Yes. We shall share your contact information. Then how do you do it to be the best? That's a very interesting question. I guess you will answer it. But Kenneth Mugabi, I know we are running out of time, but we have to surely hear you sing. Please.
So this is off my new album,
Yeah.
People of the Land, and I've just released the video of it.
Perfect.
The song is called Wamanyiza. Wamanyiza, isawa wezi timela nawe, nemanyiza kunyizanyiza kutadene nyonyogeze, nekachai okuyo mujaja ngoso wete ngatuke mikwano lelo oludeo ulwacho oludeo wamanyiza chineche chokwachileta wamanyiza 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 chineche chokwachileta kwachileta 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 wamanyiza ntumiza byokulya mukwano biwoze wamanyiza kati nze binsobedde bebi ne saksi zibuze siraba kinkezako gwe yamanyiza okukera nebaka mutumbi nkera mu matulutulu bebi kulota nokonkono nsobedwa 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 wamanyiza 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 chineche chokwachileta wamanyiza 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 chineche chokwachileta kwachileta 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 kwachileta
Wow, what a wonderful performance from Kenneth Mugabe. You sure to catch him in concert anytime from now. Right about now, we are going to take a short break. We shall be right back to wrap up the show.